He did well. He was in there a lot of times with some backup offensive lines, and I can remember thinking, all right, this is our next guy, and I'd love to see him with our better offensive lines, but this is it. Coming into his junior year, I think we had 4 kids that all of them are Division I players now. They're all trying to be quarterback. One of them was just kind of more of an athlete. Another one is a kid that's playing at SMU as a receiver, and he had been on the varsity. He was a year older than Baker. Another one's a quarterback that's committed to University of Houston right now, goes to a different school. And so we had a lot of guys that were battling that spring, the spring of Baker's sophomore year, going into Baker's junior year to see who was going to be our guy. And Baker he did all the right things. I mean, he has all the intangibles. Everybody loves him. He's never had a bad day. I don't care what's going on. He's got a smile on his face. His teammates feed off of that. He has a great attitude all the time. Even if he didn't play well or made a bad throw, he doesn't pout, he doesn't sulk, and he never did that.
Baker always had a ball in his hand, running down the hall, doing something, and he would always, in fact, after several broken vases, you never saw him without a ball in his hand. And he announced to James and I think he was 3, that he was watching Saturday morning cartoons in his TV chair, his favorite TV chair. And he jumped up and he said, "I'm not going to watch cartoons anymore, I'm going to watch ESPN." And he literally did that. I'm not joking. From that day on, he decided he watched ESPN, and actually that's kind of how he took up baseball. He learned how to watch baseball through that, but he loved everything about having a ball in his hand and just always playing. So, yeah.
Max Preps had posted his height and weight going into his senior year is 5'11", 195, and the perversions in the recruiting process and their information sources. We had one of the TCU coaches, and actually the offensive coordinator, ask Hank, his coach, to ask us how big his hands were. I mean, so, well, his hands are big enough for him to throw a football for 70 yards. So, but the minutia of detail about his size and specifications, and it became so distorted.